والحمد لله الذي لا يبلغ مدته القائلون ولا يحسن معه العدون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين رحمة للعالمين وخاتم النبيين شفيع المذنبين أبي القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد والصلاة والسلام على آله وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين كما قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم وهو أصدق القائلين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم رجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا اللهم أما بعد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. All the praise and all the glory belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, as you know that for this year's Muharram Majlis, I have chosen the following ayat from Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat number 207. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ رَءُوفٌ رَحِيمٌ. And there is a type of man, says Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who gives his life to earn the pleasure of Allah, and Allah is full of kindness to His slaves. This ayat was revealed, as we are told by Mufassirin, both among the Sunni scholars. Sunni ulama gave it a name, Tafsir al-Kabir by Razi, and others, and from totally all Shia Mufassirin, that this ayat was revealed for Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. When Imam Ali took to sleep in the bed of Rasulullah so that Rasulullah could escape from Mecca for the hijrah to Medina. So we want to look, together in this year's Muharram Majlis, the role played by Imam Ali in helping the Risalat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and at the same time take the opportunity to learn and understand the seerah of Rasulullah, because it is so very important in our earthly life to really understand what true Islam is, and we will never be able to understand true Islam until we also understand the seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so this will also make us understand what true Islam is, and also what is expected of us to become successful both in this dunya and also in the akhirah, inshallah ta'ala. And also anything that we say is not only related to the Shia history, but from our brothers' books, from the scholars and ulama of Al-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah as well. Sallu ala Nabi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Now, although I've been actually telling you, that I will concentrate only on Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam in the seerah, but really it is not. It is very, very difficult because there are so many important things that I feel, that I don't feel like, neglecting it. I feel like, explaining to you all the major events. So it is not really possible that I should, avoid other things as well. For example, last night, we discussed about Sahifa, the constitution of, Medina, and I told you that's so very important, to know that, that America, who is so proud about its country and the constitution, I told you last night that Thomas Jefferson was influenced in the Constitution of America, when he was writing the Constitution of America, he was influenced, as we are told in Encyclopedia Britannica, by the Sahifa, by the document of Rasulullah that he produced in Medina. It is known as, the Covenant of Medina. It is known in Arabic as Sahifa. So there are many important things, that I don't think that I should actually neglect. So I will do my best, to do as much as, possible. So, to continue then, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reveals in the Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَجَاهَدُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَالَّذِينَ آوَوا وَانْصُرُوا أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ حَقًّا لهم مغفرة ورزق كريم. Those who believe and adopt exile, that is those who went for the hijrah, adopted exile, and fight, struggle for the faith in the cause of Allah, as well as those who give them asylum and aid. These are all in very truth the believers, and for them is the forgiveness of sins and the provision most generous. This is from Surah Anfal, ayat number 74. This refers to the Ansar. When Muslims, did the hijrah, they were supported and given asylum by the Ansar. Ansar are those who are in Medina. And I told you there are two tribes, two Arab tribes, Aus and Khazraj in Medina, and three Jewish tribes, Banu Qaynuqa, Banu Nadir, and Banu Qurayza. Okay? And then there was another group that was, coming up, which was, against Islam, although they were showing that they are believers, but they were not believers. They are referred to as the Munafiqun. And the leader was Abdullah ibn Ubay. So we have to keep this in mind, as we actually go on. Now, they also, now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, looked at, tremendous, forgiveness and kindness towards Ansar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, as we saw, then those who believe and adopt exile and fight for the faith in the cause of Allah, as well as those who give them asylum and aid and help. These are all in very truth the believers. For them is a forgiveness of sins and a provision most generous. So they also enjoyed the rights of inheritance. You see, until there was another revelation later on in Surah Al-Ahzab, which is Surah number 33, ayat number 6, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم وأزواجه أمهاتهم وأولو الأرحام بعضهم أولى ببعض في كتاب الله من المؤمنين والمهاجرين إلا أن I'm sorry إلا أن تفعلوا إلى أوليائكم معروفا كان ذلك في الكتاب مسطورا. Excuse me. So later on then, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals much later on in Surah Al-Ahzab, ayat number 6, that the Prophet, that is the Nabi, is closer to the believers than their own selves, and his wives are their mothers. Blood relations among each other have closer personal ties in the decree of Allah than the brotherhood of believers and muhajirs. Nevertheless, do you what is just to your closest friends, such is the writing in the decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is very clear. Also, so this is now the period of, second al-Hijrah. The Adhan is being established in the second year of Hijrah, and Rasulullah appoints Bilal, to give Adhan. Very, very unique. It could never even be imagined that, the most downtrodden people, those who were weak, and those who did not even belong to the, to the Arab tribes. Thank you so very much. That they will be given a position like this. As a matter of fact, when Hazrat Bilal was given the chance or the role to be the muazzin, some people went and complained to Rasulullah that why are you giving him to do the adhan? He cannot even pronounce the words, because instead of saying ashhadu, he says ashadu. Why do you give him? And Rasulullah said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he's saying ashhadu is ashhadu. So it was very, very unique. Never heard, the world has never heard of things like that. That is where Rasulullah is considered. I told you about that book, Muhammad, the Prophet for our time. And I will be giving you some more references as well, as we actually go along. Now, Rasulullah's main concern after the Hijrah, was, doing the Salat. So, the Salat was, already established, from the time of, Mi'raj. But in Medina, where Rasulullah was praying, he had to pray facing Jerusalem. When he was in Makkah, he was praying facing the Kaaba. But when in Medina, when he was praying, he had to face, Jerusalem, because, the Wahi had not yet changed. The Nabi Musa's Wahi was, actually Jerusalem. So when he faced Jerusalem, his back was facing the Kaaba. And this was a source of great pain, for him. He used to look up all the time in the sky. Then one day, when they were involved in the Salatul Dhuhr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, it's a beautiful revelation, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reveals in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat 145, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, قَدْ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهِكَ فِي السَّمَاءِ فَلَنُوَلِّيَنَّكَ قِبْلَةً تَرْضَاهَا فَوَلُّوا وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ وَحَيْثُمَا كُنْتُمْ فَوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ شَطْرَهُ وَإِنَّ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ لَيَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ وَاللَّهُ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا يَعْمَلُونَ وَلَئِنْ أَتَيْتَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ بِكُلِّ آيَةٍ مَا تَبَعُوا قِبْلَتَكَ وَمَا أَنْتَ بِتَابِعٍ قِبْلَتَهُمْ وَمَا بَعْضُهُمْ بِتَابِعٍ قِبْلَةَ بَعْضٍ وَلَئِنْ أَتَبْتَ أَهْوَاءَهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَكَ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ إِنَّكَ إِذًا لَمِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ. Beautiful ayat from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where he says, he says now to Rasulullah, they are involved in the namaz, in the salat, in the masjid, in the time of Zohar. And there is a revelation. The revelation says to Rasulullah, then we see you turning your face for guidance to the heavens. Now we shall turn you to a qibla that will please you, that will make you happy. Therefore, turn your face in the direction of the sacred mosque, that is Kaaba. Wherever you are, turn your faces in that direction. The people of the book know very well that that is the truth from the Rabb, nor is Allah unmindful of what they do. Even if we were to bring to the people of the book all the signs together, they would not follow your Qibla, nor will you follow their Qibla, nor indeed will they follow each other's Qibla. If you, after the knowledge has reached thee, were to follow their vain desires, then you would indeed be clearly in the wrong. This must have been an amazing news to Rasulullah. I mean, can you imagine? Rasulullah was always very sad, both udaste, nirashte, all the time. He was looking up into the sky. Ya Allah, I'm facing the back. My back is to the Kaaba. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then, changed this. So this was in the second year of Al-Hijrah. The fasting for the month of Ramadan also was declared in the second year of Al-Hijrah. So the second year of Al-Hijrah then was extremely important because also of the marriage of Bibi Fatima to Zahra salamu alayha, with Imam Ali alayhi salam. So this was this arrangement or the declaration of the marriage was declared in the month of Ramadan. In the second Al-Hijrah, but the rukhsati, the nuptial ceremonies took place, 2 months afterwards. It was in the month of Dhul Hajjah. So, this alliance, revealed to Rasulullah was ordained by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. So we are told in the sources that, the Rasulullah sallam said to Bibi Fatima salamu alayha, so Rasulullah said to Bibi Fatima Zahra that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had informed him that his choice, that is Allah's choice, from the noblest people on the earth of 2 blessed men, one being her father and the other her husband, Imam Ali, and that he, that is Allah, decreed his lineal descendants to spring forth from this couple. So now this, so then the wedding ceremonies, she showed quite simplicity, feast, Kanaka, Wali Imam or feast was, dates and olives, and the ceremonial coach for sitting was sheepskin, and the general outfit, we are told, for the bride was a pair of silver bangles and things like that, and other simple things. Now, for the mahar, Imam Ali had to sell his own coat of mail so he could raise some money, for the required mahar of him. It is very, very unique. So let's have one salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So then the progeny then the imams would be referred to Ibn Rasulullah. So all the progeny from Imam Ali and Fatima Zahra, all our Aimma, and they were referred to as Ibn Rasulullah, Ibn Rasulullah, and then they would ask question, and they proved to be the fountainhead of piety and wisdom, totally. That is very, very unique, because the thing that distinguishes Imam was ka proof kya hai? The proof is only two proofs. One is ilm laduni, that they have been given ilm, special ilm by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They did not go to schools, they did not go to colleges, they did not have any PhDs. The ilm was total ilm, and they were the enemies tried their best to defeat them by organizing debates and by calling scholars from different civilizations of the world, from the Persian civilization and from the Roman civilization and from India, they called, and all the time there were these debates, but each and every debate, those who came for debate, they lost, and some of them immediately converted to Islam. Because they said that this is definitely the ilm. It is not a human ilm. It is the ilm that is definitely divine. It is the ilm given to them only by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nobody can do that kind of ilm that they had. We have got a very similar incident in the time of Nabi Musa alayhi salam as well. As when the Pharaoh was actually challenging, Nabi Musa alayhi salam, and his chiefs, advised him, that let's do a competition, get all the top magicians, to come and compete with Nabi Musa alayhi salam, because Nabi Musa's ilm, his mu'jiza was the staff. The staff was turning into snake. And his hand, as he removed his hand from his pocket, it would become bayadha, white, shining. So all these magicians came, and it was announced, and everything was so grand, And then the magicians, so now they said, will you throw first or shall I throw first? And and Nabi Musa alayhi salam says, no, you throw first. And when they throw through the ropes turn into snakes, wild snakes. Nabi Musa was, slightly afraid. Allah said, no, don't worry. Today you are going to be Allah. Okay. And then, you just throw your staff. Nabi Musa throws the staff, and the staff actually becomes a big snake and gobbles them all up. When the magicians see that, they say, Allahu Akbar, this no human being can do this. This is Allah's. And they start going to the sajda. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help is always there, when we are on the truth. As long as we have got the courage, to stand up, for the truth. So, and here again is, the same thing that all the Imams had a very special ilm al-laduni, and nobody could actually challenge them. One day, inshallah, when we get the chance in, future, I will bring you, a very special debate, that took place between our sixth Imam, Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam, and one of the top physicians of the world at that time. He was an Indian physician. and the Abbasid, courts, decided, to have a debate. So, the Imam Jafar Sadiq al-Islam is, called now, there's a debate going on. And, the question that is put to the Imam is, that why do we have our nose you're pointing down? Why do we have eyes almond-shaped? Why do we have lips like this? Why? So many questions, complete, total questions of the whole human body. And so Imam Jafar Sadiq said, do you know the answer? He said, no, I don't know the answer. So Imam Jafar Sadiq explains to him each and every reason why, for each and everything that we have got in the human body. And that man said, that physician said, this is truly from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he accepts Islam immediately. So, alhamdulillah. So then the progeny, because of this marriage of Fatima and Imam Ali, the progeny, the Imams would be referred to as Ibn Rasulullah, Imam al-Hassan, Imam al-Hussein, alayhim salam, played in the laps of Rasulullah. And they are known as the Sayyid al-Shabab Ahl Jannah, the leaders of the youth of paradise, the Quraysh in Makkah were aware, So now the other problem was, the problem, as I told you, that that if you think that after Hijrah everything was fine and dandy, no, it wasn't, because the problem was, first of all, the three Jewish tribes, Banu Qaynuqa, Banu Nadir, and Banu Qurayza, they did not accept Rasulullah as the Rasul, because they were expecting another Messiah to come from the progeny of Banu Israel, not from Banu Ismail. So this was the problem. Some of them accepted, but not all. So they had this bulls, right from the start. The second problem was, that, as I told you, that Abdullah ibn Ubay, who is considered to be the hypocrite, before the Hijrah, he was expecting to be the leader in Medina. When the Hijrah took place, now Rasulullah is the leader. He lost his chance, so he could not oppose directly. So although from the first he did the Shahada from the first, but in his heart was the bulls. He is considered to be the leader of the hypocrites, and he was going to create problems, huge problems, tremendous problems. And the third problem was, the kuffar from Makkah, the Quraysh, because they were already, raiding on the outskirts of Medina. They definitely wanted to destroy Islam, totally. They did not want Islam to, to take roots in Medina at all. So, these were going to be the problems. So I think it's already my time, so I will have to, stop here. And inshallah tomorrow then we will deal with, the Battle of Badr, and then we'll see if we can also go up to the Battle of, Uhud, and also, Khandak, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز به الإسلام وأهلها وتذل به النفاق وأهلها وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة إنك أنت الوهاب إنك على كل شيء قدير. صلوا على النبي.